and Facebook's live. Yep, Facebook's live. Tastes good, huh? All right, yeah, YouTube is live. Look at that boy right there. Look at, woo! It's gonna take a second to catch the quality all the way up, but that's all good.
No, that's smooth. That's smooth. I like that.
Yeah, and it's time late too, so that sounds good. Boom. All right, yeah, it's catching up.
Do you always rotate the location?
On accident, it kind of just be happening, bro.
Right.
Like it's we started in one studio, and I think like he had started it for the first time, and that was me doing my first podcast. And then next thing you know, we just be praying about stuff, and then next thing you know, you go to another studio, they hit another studio, and then one time I was like, "Hey, bro, you think we can like take this on the road?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, that's what I do. I
If
do
you,
weddings." I was like, "Okay, say less then." And then we
yeah.
went to DC, and now it's like we have to go somewhere.
Right.
It feels like we gotta go travel and do something else.
Yeah, just as long as you're getting top quality out of your pod on that location.
Yeah.
We shot an interview yesterday at a diner. We did an interview for our documentary with a guy. You got to go through all like, hey, can you turn your music off? Can you
Oh
do this?
yeah,
Because your
yeah,
copy,
yeah.
all your copyright and all that. And then, the managers in these small towns are looking at you like you're crazy. Like, you want me to turn my music off? Why?
Yeah.
You're like,
But
oh,
really,
I'm
it's
sorry.
great promotion though for them though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, for sure.
different.
And when you explain it to them that way,
Yeah,
you know, but it's like,
because it's different.
you got to spoon feed a lot of people. People don't really know what they want until you give it to them.
You very much have a business mindset though. So
Yeah.
obviously you're doing a lot.
Yeah.
As we get started and now everybody will open up. So don't get all greedy now. You ain't gonna get everything right now. I know I can see. I know y'all know I'm on live, and I know you know I'm on live. All that.
Got to be more John Brown Cap. I'm ready.
Appreciate you inviting me on.
Oh no, of course, bro. I thought we were gonna wait until we got Vaughn on here.
Yeah, I mean,
But
or
still,
Kaleo. Kaleo would be a great
true
one.
that, true that.
Um,
We're
yeah, I
gonna
mean,
probably be right back here too. So
yeah. So you served, you were in,
oh yeah.
and you
I'll
did.
tell you all about it. I don't want to get people
Okay.
too much. Well, they know that. Y'all, they know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I serve. I serve. I was reading the bio you sent me and stuff too.
Yeah.
And when you first followed me, I was like, Vaughn, like, how does Vaughn know this dude, man? And then
It's a crazy story.
For
It's
real?
a crazy story. Yeah.
Okay. Don't tell it
It's,
yet.
it's all
That's
yeah.
gonna be for the Vaughn. That's gonna be for that pod. then.
Divine intervention, man. It's
Oh,
just that
say
guy's
less.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even call things crazy anymore. I call them divine because
Yeah. Facts.
it really just be like that.
Truth.
And Sonny, let me know if I get too far away from my mic because I be getting excited sometimes.
Oh yeah, I know me. I'll be on the swivel, man.
Yeah,
I got to have that.
I gotta.
Got to have that.
See, I be seeing some of them old heads, bro. They be having, they just be talking. They don't even be lit. It just be, I can't do that. I don't know how Steve Harvey do that for 2
Oh yeah,
hours.
he did. Yeah.
I can't. That
I'll
don't
get
feel
sick.
good.
Yeah.
I don't feel good, and don't taste like, no, I can't do that.
It's out of the way now, then.
I can't do that, though.
We're not supposed to wait to light this, were we?
No, you do your thing, bro. And with matches, man, it take a time. So if I make you wait, you be lighting that thing till we finish. That's why I said I was sorry I didn't bring my torch. Yeah, man, as ready as we gonna be, dog.
I'm ready.
Okay. What's going down, people? It's your boy Myer Krah back again with another podcast. Today we're doing live stream. Everything's a little bit different today, if you haven't told. Like this might be the first time I think I have more than one guest, and this might be the first time I've done one. I don't want to call it in my hometown, but where I'm stationed at right now. I'm super excited. If you don't recognize my background, I am at Maker's Craft Brewery in Norfolk, Virginia. This is one of the first places I found to be home to me, especially when you go in and out to deployment, you go in and out overseas, you want to come home and find somewhere outside of your own home that you can just chill, relax. I could bring my entire family here. Every single one of my 4 kids has been here. They got a huge indoor area, a cigar lounge as well, and a huge outdoor area. So if you're in Norfolk, Virginia at any point in time, please stop by here, grab a bite to eat. They keep a food truck outside. They got snacks inside. Get a good beer and just have a good time. But before I go too far, what I want to do, you might, I want to introduce a few people. You might already know one of these guys, at least be familiar with them. I had to have them back. So many of you guys asked me, hey man, who is this dude? Is he a professional speaker? Is he a pastor? This dude was dropping dimes. And I got somebody else. If you're in the Hampton Roads area, you might already recognize the face. If you're in the business space, or maybe you served in the military, I'm gonna shut up and allow y'all to do it y'all self. So first, man, we're gonna start with my boy Rashad. What's going on, baby?
All right, it was. Yeah, we back. We back. Pastor, far from it.
Oh,
Say that.
okay.
I'll say far from it. Rashad Howell, North Carolina, Wide Awake Wilson to be exact.
Better
We
believe
said that, North Carolina. I mean, we'll talk a little bit so you get to
Oh
know me a little bit
yeah,
more.
for sure. What's going down, baby? How you doing?
Good morning. Is it afternoon? What is it now? Yeah,
That's what the day's
my
been
day
like.
was a blur. Absolutely. Got here just in time. John Gamble, thank you for having me. First time. Won't be the
sure.
last, hopefully, right?
Won't be the last.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely would not be the last. We already got something set up. But I want you guys to tell them how many kids you have, girl or boy. Kind of put them in the mindset. For you, I know some people already kind of know your story a little bit, but I want them to make that connection as dads.
Okay. For me, girl dad of 2.
Okay.
All right. 8 and 9 years young. Girl
Mm.
dad. Don't ask me that between August 19th and October 22nd.
Ain't none of my business.
So they might be the same age. But 8 and 9, 2 girls.
Say less. What's up? What about you,
I
man?
carry 5 boys with me.
Woo!
Yeah, 5. I have twin 13-year-olds, and I have a 2-month-old at home right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
There we go. So you got
Spaced it out.
the twins.
Yeah, I didn't follow any handbook.
Babe, I hope you're listening to this. And everybody who keep coming up to me saying, "Hey man, you gonna try for another one so you can have a girl?" Because I got 4 boys myself, and as you probably already seen, I'm afraid that if I have another child, I'm either gonna have another set of twins or another boy. So I'll be running around with you. So we
Yeah.
might need to have a conversation.
Like the skull's not even like fully formed on this one yet, and people are already asking if we're gonna have another one.
bro, what is up with that, bro? And they don't be trying to babysit. They don't be nowhere to be found once you had a
I got a
baby.
really good support system, so
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's what we're gonna get in today. I want to have a conversation about what is it that fathers need. I think sometimes we may see, at least right now in this area, they're talking about what a lot do men need, what do women need, and I want to get in a little bit of the niche area, like what do fathers need. And I think first thing we need to do is kind of maybe talk about what does success look as a father. Could either one of y'all answer that for me?
Success for me as a father would be we're in a social media age, and the scariest thing for me is, my 13-year-olds now can pick up a phone, and if I were to allow them to have all social media platforms, they could find me. And what I'd be proud of is that they could go through all my social media, and if they went deep enough, they'd find some good times their dad had. But
Yeah.
for the most part, since they've been on this earth, I'd say every other picture I've ever posted has been them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'll see that love, and I know some people might be faking it for the gram,
No,
right?
that's true.
We have the types, but I mean, I think they'll be genuinely happy with what they saw. But as far as what I need is, I just need them to know that they were always on my mind no matter what, every day, every moment until I perish. They were on my mind.
What about you, Sean?
I mean, that's a smooth response.
I'm about to say, I don't know if I
Man,
can beat
what?
that.
Follow up. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Success for me is, I would say, my daughter's been proud to call me dad. All right. Because I do a lot of traveling. Well, if you've heard before, I do a lot of traveling. I'm always out. But for them to be proud to just call me dad, I'm like, okay, I'm still winning. I'm
Yeah.
still present. And that makes sense. So that's what success looks like for me.
I would say for me, because success can look different for everybody,
Mhm.
right? Do we have fathers in every other position? We got co-parenting fathers, foster dads, only father figures, the baby daddies, right? You got the married fathers, right? And everybody's in a different position. But for me, what I want is that long term that y'all talked about. Not only to be happy to call me dad and to remember and understand that I was extremely intentional, but is when they no longer need me, when my sons are old enough to no longer need me, how will they treat me? Will they still have conversations with me? Would they still look for my guidance? Would they still respect what comes out of my mouth? Now, if I'm acting crazy, if I'm not there for their entire life, and maybe they only respect me because either I'm coaching them or only respect me because I'm there and they can't either take control of their own situation because they need me and they're dependent on me, when they get of age, they're not gonna be looking for me. They ain't gonna be looking for daddy. They won't need daddy. And I'm thinking about that all the time, like every single day is how do I'm not trying to necessarily play the long game, right? It's not necessarily that. I just want to have a relationship with them. Right now it's hard though, as little kids, all they care about is Mario and Sonic. How do you guys get into having a relationship with your children now at the ages they are now?
All right, well, I'll take this one
I'm gonna
first.
let you lead.
So for me, man, because I'm a crazy guy, and a lot of people know that, right? If you don't know, you know now. And for me, it's just like I say, authenticity, me being myself. I think for me, that's always a struggle because I'm a crazy dad. Now it's like, Dad, you're always playing, you're goofing around. Is it okay for me to goof around? And they respect me for who I am and for the things that I do. So I think that yeah, for me, I appreciate the fact that I can be who I am. And that's what they respect and that's what they desire to
Yeah.
see every single day. Because if I'm coming in with my head down, they're like, Daddy, this is not you. If I'm not
Yeah.
embarrassing them at school, they're like, Daddy, this is not you. So they want to look for the crazy dad. They get excited. My oldest daughter, she gets excited now. She's like the really so she's really gentle, soft spoken. She's like, Daddy, do you have to do this today? And I'm like, yes, I do. Because this is the only way I know how to be.
Yeah.
But now all her friends are like, Yo, who is your dad? And she's like, That's my dad.
So you're the cool dad.
I'm the cool crazy dad.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the
Cool.
one-
Cool. Crazy. That's
Yeah,
different.
yeah, cool, crazy. Dad with the shoes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could be that one too. And you do got them shoes though. I don't know if you can show the camera what
I
you
don't
got
know.
on right now.
Man, something
But
like
them things
Oh,
is
yeah.
too
Nike
fly.
socks just to make sure they know.
Oh, say less
I'm
then.
not ABC'd out. All right?
I got my church socks on right now. So
Same.
they don't
Same.
even match.
With
bro.
sneakers.
Yeah, with the sneakers, man.
No, me.
I just throw on whatever, bro. I don't even.
love
I don't even care. What about you? How are you striving for success with your children right now at the age they are right now?
So striving for success is kind of a a question that you're not asked, right? So thanks for asking.
Mm.
No one asked you how I'm striving. So your pod's very unique
Thank you.
because
Man.
you are asking questions that no one asks, right? So it's thanks, one. Two, it's a growing process, right? Like I have guilt some way because I feel like I'm doing a better job with my new children, when I say my younger children, as opposed to my older children. And you got to constantly remind yourself that I was young then too, right? So 28 versus 38 mean
Yeah.
two different people. So I want my older sons to see that and know that they were loved equally, but know that dad has evolved, and that's so you got to communicate with them because 13-year-olds might see how I'm treating 5-year-old and be like, maybe dad didn't do it with me like that,
Yeah.
but then I find it important to communicate with them why, maybe, well, dad was all his own for the first 3 years with you, son. So, until your wonderful stepmother came into our lives, that was a mess. That was a mess. Cocktail waitresses were your babysitters. You know what I mean? Like it was not the best, it was kind of not the greatest situation. You know what I mean? But we strive to be better every day. And as long as you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and be like, man, I did better than me last week, at least, every day,
Yeah.
1% better every day, right?
That's what they say. It's gonna take me more than 100 days though.
right. So clear. I guess. Yeah. So I guess it would be clarity with my kids, to a point where they need to know.
Okay.
I don't divulge more information to my children than they need to know.
And they will search for it.
Yeah.
They ask for it. You got siblings? Both of y'all got siblings?
Oh yeah.
How many
Yeah.
siblings you got?
I got
Shai?
5.
5?
I'm
You?
the oldest of 5.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'm the oldest of 6 now because
So I'm the oldest of
I'm the oldest
4.
of 6.
yeah, my father's he just had. I have a new younger brother. He's 5. So
Oh, that's gotta be kind of
I'm
cool.
one of
Yeah.
those too. I got
Pops.
a younger sister that's 2. Yeah. So I get it.
Daddy's worth some Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I understand. Mama, don't you get no daggone ideas now. So yeah,
Wow,
no, I don't need none of that. I'm babysitting enough. I don't need nobody else. But the reason why I asked that, because I think we can very much resonate with the story that you said right now. I think we can look back at our siblings and be like, man, my mama never would have let me do that. I couldn't even grow my hair out too much. I couldn't have no earrings. I couldn't have no girlfriend or nothing like that. As they starting to get it a little bit younger, right? The different siblings got different privileges because the parents were evolving very much so. So would you say the same thing for yourself? Or?
Oh man, evolution.
Evolution.
Yeah. I guess you could say that, man, because things that I could not get away with. I mean, it could be the simplest of things. When my sister came along,
Bruh.
but I like something that you said. You said something about the why, right? The why behind it, and I'm thinking about and just to touch on a little bit. So we're always giving the why to our coworkers, but we don't feel like our children deserve the why behind it. All right, so we have to be transparent. And even though they're small children, they listen and they learn.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
when they continue to learn, guess what? They continue to grow. You stop learning, you stop growing. Filet mignon cooked medium with no sauce. I'm not gonna do no more of those. All right, but I'm telling you right now. So for me, having those siblings, especially the younger ones, it's like they just get away with murder.
sure.
In my eyes, that's
No,
what
for
it
real.
is. That's what it is. I mean, I have earrings now. I probably got an earring when I was like 30.
Yeah, bro.
30.
I just turned 30, so I'm trying to see if
and
I get
I'm
earrings.
almost scared to tell my mama now.
I feel
I'm
you.
almost scared to tell her now. Like, listen, mom,
Yeah.
you're grown. I said, yeah, I get that. But that's not how I grew up. So just seeing that and being able to witness that, I try to be transparent with the kids and be upfront. Like, here's a smaller child, right? Which they're close in age. They're really close in age. So it's easy. It's a little easier for me. I'm not there yet, but I'm sure one day.
Yeah, it's all about evolving, man, and understanding how to explain the why to them because we do sometimes as men already have trouble with asking for stuff. If it we want to be selfish in our head, but we end up servicing everybody else and forgetting about ourselves sometimes. That happens a lot, right? And I think this newfound discovery of fatherhood where I'm talking with other guys, I've been trying to figure out what it is that I need. How can I ask my wife and my tribe what it is that I need, and even for my kids too, because I have to set boundaries and things with them. And one thing that I added is when I get home, I want everybody to run to the door and meet me at the door. I want hugs, loves, and kisses. Now I don't ask them for too much, help your mom out in the kitchen, certain routines and things like that. But before I ask the question on what it is that you guys feel like you need to be successful as fathers, I hope you don't mind me asking, what is your parenting relationship like right now? You married, co-parenting, doing single father. Like, what is it like right now? You can start now.
Yeah, I have an amazing wife at home, and then so we have 3 together. And like I said, I have twin boys. I met her when they were about 3 years old. She's pretty much what they know. Their mother is in the picture, but not to where I would like. But some people say that's a gift and a curse because someone who I know guys who get put through the ringer.
Yeah.
Mine kind of just, God bless, handing them off. Felt I guess she knew they were in right hands. I don't know what it was. My lawyer's better than hers, but on at the end of the day, man, honestly, it was just being true to yourself, right? And then the kids know. And if the system, yes, the system, people have their complaints about the system, but if you go in there correct, your ducks are in a row, you're gonna be okay. So I have the split household. I've had that situation, but we have a strong nucleus now at our house, in our home. And I think that's just just necessary in life. You know what I mean? And if not, then I think it's not, you can't accomplish your everything you want your child to accomplish, or you can't accomplish the relationship you want to have with your child. It's going to be a little harder, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact, right? If you're
Yeah.
not there all the time, who is? So if you're not the main influence in your child's life, who is? Question one, right? And two, can you put up with someone else being that influence? And
Absolutely.
I can't. So
Absolutely
that's
true.
what made me mature as a man, and to to get right, right? So I mean, I owned nightclubs, and I was behind the bar owning for 15 years in a toxic situation.
Mm.
And it's not good for your marriage. It's not good for a parent. You're up till 3, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You're going home. You're trying not to sleep in too long because you want to be present. It's so hard, you know? So I've done the day job, the night job. I stay at home for a while. What's important to me to keep that strong is the nucleus. Like I said, if I don't have if my wife isn't who she is, I'm not as strong as I am. And that sounds super cliche. And if you'd have talked to me 30 years ago, I'd be like, man, I don't need nobody but me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you get to a point where you just mature, and that's it. Maturity, and an awakening. It
So you
really
would say
is.
you need a strong anchor next to you. You need
Yeah,
some type of support.
yeah. Because I'm telling you, hey, you're glad you didn't meet me in my 20s and 30s. You know, like I met probably like a lot of the OGs in the Navy. That's I met those guys and back then, and your priorities are not in order. They're just not.
Yeah.
As much as you want to say they are, you can act they are. When you have too many distractions in your way, you got to clear the path.
Yeah. There
You
you
know,
go.
let the right people in
Hmm.
and let the wrong people out. So yeah, strong support system is always going to be my go-to. What I collect people. Give me the strongest people around me.
For sure.
I'm gonna build a team,
Hmm.
right? And you are who you're around. Learn that the hard way, young. So here we are now.
Say less. What about you, Shot?
Good gracious. I said I wasn't going to do this, but that's sweeter than the honey on the honeycomb. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Now, my story ain't quite
You
as
from North
sweet as
Carolina
yours.
for real, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sitting here
Yeah.
listening to y'all say, Shy, you know you got to say something. I don't think it's going to be that smooth in the baby's bottom. But for me, so it's one dad and two moms. All
Okay.
right, so let's go there.
Mm.
One. And also, there is a husband and
Mm.
there is another baby, which is crazy about me, right? But this is what I understand. And I'll tell you, we're almost like Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, stinging like a bee.
Come
But,
on.
you know what I'm saying? We were almost out there like that. But we've had our struggles. But what I understood is, and I will commend the mothers, all right? Commend the mothers on this too. What I understood is trouble does not last always, right? Is that why you say I was a pastor? I ain't trying to.
Hey, I'm
like
just
that.
saying. I was gonna get it to you.
But what I understood was, and what we understand as the parents is, what matters is the child, right? And then everything else, like that's easy for me. So you guys have y'all have boys,
Yeah.
right? I have girls. When I tell y'all, see y'all strong and buff. Me, I am a crybaby. Man, I'm tell y'all cry about everything. We had a funeral for a cup like a few months ago. It's crazy. It's all
Say a
type.
funeral for
I had a
what?
funeral for a cup, man.
Okay.
I had a funeral for. You don't want to hear. You don't want to hear. Don't.
I'm just
My-
gonna believe you.
You better
I'ma
believe me.
believe you.
You better believe me. Funeral for a cup, and they laugh at me till this day. It
For
wasn't
a cup,
intentional,
bruh.
bro.
I might want to hear the story now.
You want it?
I'll just get
I'm
to
gonna
it. I
drop it
gotta
on
hear
you
this
real quick, and we're gonna jump back in. I'm gonna drop it on
Okay.
you. So I was, going through some tough times, and me and the child's mother, we had split, and we moved around. You know what I'm saying? Financially, I wouldn't say I was in the best shape.
Who you?
All right, so I ended up going back home. Right, so I was in Wilson, North Carolina, trying to get everything together, get on my feet. The babies are, they're suffering a little bit because I'm not there, and they're like, okay, what's going on? Even though me and the parents weren't together, and so there was so I ended up getting an apartment, right? It was nice. I'm like, I'm back on my feet. I'm where I'm supposed to be. And the first thing, I'm so excited. The first thing I bought in my apartment was this little measuring cup, plastic measuring cup. And I was like, I'm going to stay in my apartment first night. I ain't have nothing.
Mm.
No cover, no nothing. The only thing I had, I went to Walmart, I seen the measuring cup. I said, I'm gonna need it one day. I picked it up. So I'm
I
staying
do that all the time.
the first 2 days I'm in the house is me and that measuring cup, right?
Mm.
Now we put it in the dishwasher a couple of times and it cracked on me, right? So then I'm like, all right, whatever, it cracked on me. and I know it's time to put it in the trash, and the girls are over, and I'm like, all right, girls, I got a piano. I'm like, we're gonna have a funeral.
Oh,
What I
there
mean?
we
We're gonna
go.
have a funeral. So I will go
It was
grab the
coming.
cup. I put the cup in the trash, and I start to play the song, and then my shoulders start getting heavy, and I start getting light. I said, what is going on? I start tearing, and I'm boohooing
Wow.
because for that cup, very significant about that cup, it's like when I had the opportunity to start over and get on my feet. And then it was like, and through it all, everybody that I needed around me is here right now.
Mm.
It was just insane. And like I said, I'm a crybaby.
Bro,
But
me too, dog. I very much. I posted a video the
yeah.
other day talking about once you become fathers, it's like there's this emotional intensity that just
Oh, yeah.
jumps on your back, and every once in a while you just cry, man. I can't make it through Disney movies.
It
without
only
it,
gets
bro.
worse as you get older.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Don't tell
Like
me
the
that.
right Sports Center commercial.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Y'all,
An
that 30 for
E40,
30 will
like
do
one
it.
of them E40s,
Mhm.
like a bone marrow transplant or something like that, like athlete to a child.
Oh yeah.
Sobbing, man.
Waterworks, bro.
I don't take nothing, man. I almost cried when you said, "Hey."
Yeah, I'm about to say, men do cry. It happens.
You said
Fathers
bone
cry too.
marrow?
Oh.
So what would you say you need, man?
What do I need, man?
Or at least what would you tell them?
What would I tell them? What I need is for them to be patient with their father, because I'm still growing myself, right? I'm a young man, and I'm trying to understand life, and I'm trying to coach them through life, and I coach people all around the U.S. and stuff, and I give them motivation. But I want them to be patient enough with me that they understand that Daddy does not get it right every
Mm.
single time.
Yeah,
And as long as they understand that, I'm able to move forward.
I love that. I
Hey,
love that. If I
hey,
ask my son right now, just hey, I just need a little bit of patience. Just help me out.
hey, quick producer interjection. Myer, can you just let the viewers who is now coming in, let them know where we're at and what's happening right now, real quick?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, so for the viewers who are just now logging in, just so you know, we are at Maker's Craft Brewery, and we're having a conversation about what it is that fathers need. So pay attention, take some notes. You might have missed a few of them, so you won't have to go back. But I'm about to break it down to you at least what I think that fathers need. I can tell you a little bit about what I need, but I think this is a mix of between both what men need and a little bit about what fathers need. And one of those things is I feel like I need other men around me. I need to have other strong men. Now, either you can call yourself a mentor, you can call yourself a friend, you could be my father, whatever that guy looks like. I just need to have them. And that's one of the reasons why I started having these different organizational meetings and having this podcast, because I feel like men need to hear from other men. A lot of the times we step in a room with our wives or other women, we feel like we got to be the strong one. Like, and we don't want to let anybody see our weaknesses. We feel like we got to be the one to go to work, and we can't cry, and we can't show our weakness. We don't want to ask for patience. We don't want to ask for grace. It's because we got a long-term vision that we're trying to go. And if we feel like we slow down, we'll never get there, or somebody won't trust us to get there on our own. So if we take and put our burdens on our wives or on our families, then what are they supposed to do? Who are they supposed to send their burdens now? They don't want to burden us. Um, and I know that I have enough friends around me, and I have a tribe of guys that I wasn't leaning on, and now I'm starting to do that more. And I think that's so important to have. You can see it in football, you can see it in different sports when men get together, how they're able to open up and talk to each other. But I would say that's one of the things. Another one is men need to know how to communicate. Fathers need to know how to communicate not only their feelings, but what they need, where they want to go, and they need to start understanding communication too. Because I've struggled with this a lot in my own home. Every single one of my children are different. I need to know what they're saying, even when they aren't saying it. The first way I learned that I needed to communicate a little bit better was when I married my wife. I thought I knew everything about her until we started living together. I was like, I don't know what in the world just happened. I thought that she would just tell me when something was wrong, but if you ask what's wrong, nothing. It don't feel like nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I would say at least the last thing. So if it's needing men around you, communication, I would say the last one would be that work-life balance. Both of you two gentlemen, I know, can speak deeply and long about that. You have been in many different stages of business, in and out of the military. You yourself just flew here from Chicago. Like, I'm talking probably not even a couple hours ago. You are constantly moving. And I think for any man, we can very much resonate with someone or being the person that just even if it's not a 9 to 5, you have to put your hands on something. We are constantly fixers. We constantly feel like we have to be working on something. So that's my last one, is that work-life balance. That's both for men and for fathers. Do you, either one of you guys resonate with any of those three? And I'll let you start first, Rashad.
Oh, you let me start. Oh, all right. Work-life balance. I don't understand it. I'm still struggling with it.
That's a great response.
Listen,
Glad you started with that because
bro, it's rough. It's
Yeah.
rough, man. And you were just talking about you said your wife, you thought that you knew everything. For me, with work-life balance, I understand once you find out how somebody learns, you can teach them anything. So once I find out how my children respond to when I'm there and when I'm not there,
Mm,
I can respond correctly, right?
mhm.
And that's what makes sense. So work-life balance, I don't know if I ever get that, man, because I tell people, I say, listen, my email is off today, and then I'm answering everybody. Then I'm like, I got to do this, and so for me, I ain't the best one to answer that question.
Well, that's keeping it
Yeah, I
real,
gotta
though.
keep it real. I gotta
I-
tell you like a TI
And,
is.
and there's a lot of men out here and fathers out here who's still trying to figure it out.
Put me in the game.
And it changes. And I don't know, you probably can talk about how it changes because then sports start and then different different things like that. So talk to me. How
yeah,
you
I
feel
just
about
had to
that?
do a background check to be a baseball coach.
Oh my goodness.
Then there was like a class and a questionnaire. I almost backed out immediately. I'm like $390 invested already now. So that's the other thing. Sports. I'm gonna go on a tangent. What were we talking about?
No, we're just talking about that work-life balance.
Yeah, so
as
the
you
work-life
understand it,
balance,
man.
kids sports. I mean, balance, like you said, is damn near impossible, right? It's controlled chaos.
Yeah.
You have a calendar in your phone. That thing barely can keep me on track, right? So
Yeah.
even my calendar might be full all day, and then like this morning I missed a lunch, oh, totally forgot it, right? So I got to get better at that with that work-life balance. But I'm heavy life over work. So my main focus is always the kids at home and my wife first. And that's recently shifted within the last like 4 or 5 years,
Mm.
right? So I unloaded.
What shifted it?
I changed my career. So I went, unloaded shares from the bars I was at, and then took it, invested into my wife, ourselves. Started a production company, put the wife into real estate,
Okay.
and now I will proudly say that my wife is the breadwinner in the house. She is doing her thing. You know what I mean? God bless. Like now it's
Amen.
allowed me to step back, hit the reset button, and now, I mean, we got so many lanes open right now. We're super thankful.
Hey, can I
Um,
interject before you dive in?
Yeah, yeah. What's up, man?
You just talked about something really good. So dive deeper into how you got past the pride thing that most men would have about the wife being the breadwinner in the home, right?
Mm.
Because I think that was big. Because one of the things we're also trying to do with this podcast is to help people have alternative thinking. So can you just dive deeper into your thought process
Oh yeah.
when it came to being like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
do the thing, babe.
so my thought process was what made me change that lifestyle,
Yeah, yeah. Because I
essentially.
think people get stuck on the stereotype that the man and the father has to be the breadwinner and bring
Yeah,
all these things home. But there's so many different lanes and ways that you can do it. It doesn't make you not a leader or any less of a man or a father.
yeah. I think that we're clearly in a new age, right? So everything's different. Everybody's got equal rights, or so that's the dream, the American dream, right? And the traditional household isn't the same. Um, I have no problem with my wife making money.
I heard that,
I
bro.
think you'd be a fool to have some animosity towards your significant other if they're making more money than you or something like that. Then that's just something you got to deal with yourself, which leads to communication. Back to that, right? Maybe you're not with the right person. There's
Mm.
so many
Well, I want
little
to go.
things. No, I think you're with the right person. I'm not
No, no,
trying
no.
to
I'm
get
saying
caught up.
I want to go into that a little bit
Yeah, yeah,
if we
yeah.
can.
But as far as finding maybe the courage to take that step and to take that initiative, or to challenge someone else,
Mm.
like i.e. my wife. Hey, we're getting by, we're content with life,
Yeah.
we're having more children, whether we like it or not.
It's something you liking about it.
And what do you? What is? Yeah, yeah. We figured out what was happening. But it took a lot of me swallowing my pride, which it shouldn't. Of I think it was the public eye being like, "Yo, if you're not out here in the clubs anymore, what are you doing? If you're not running this anymore, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?" And then I don't owe nobody no answers.
Mm.
That took a while to get that through my head. I don't owe you him. Like I don't.
I'm thinking about what you said about the breadwinner. I don't think I have an issue with it, but like I said, we got two different scenarios. You guys have boys and I have
Right.
girls.
Correct.
So my
Mm.
entire life, single mother.
It's
right?
situational.
And
Right.
yeah, it was different. So for me, that's what I've seen. I've seen my mama winning like on her own.
Mm.
So for me, I'm just like, and even when I spoke at the women's conference, I'm just like, that's exciting to me because I know what women are capable of doing. So my perspective of it is like women are like they are it. They
Yeah.
they are legit it. And I could be a little biased because I've been around my mom, and then I
Right,
have
right.
girls, right? And I'm like, oh, girl power, let's go. I want
Yeah,
y'all to
yeah, yeah.
win.
Yeah.
But in actuality, that's the only way that I've seen it. So that's what I know. So for somebody to come in and say, baby, I hate to tell you this, but I'm making that shmoney. I'm saying that's okay. You
That's
know what I
okay.
want for
I'll
Christmas?
take it.
I'll take it. I'll take
Yes.
it.
I'll take it. And there's something I wanted to talk about because you mentioned seeing your mom like win, like and doing single mom and stuff. I, Sony, I think you might have sent me a video a couple days ago, and I heard a young man just have a conversation about being afraid to be a father. He said, I can't do it. There's no way. And I think a portion of that was him feeling like he would automatically fail because he didn't have a father figure in his life, or he didn't have a father in his life. And I hear so many different younger guys before having kids doubting themselves either for that fact or I don't want to get married, or maybe I do want to have kids, but I don't need no woman to do that. And you don't hear a lot of guys say that, but it happens. Can you speak to maybe either that young man or some of these young guys about how you felt, stepping into fatherhood and maybe different things that you did, even though you may not have had the strongest relationship with your father growing up? And maybe I don't know the all around encompassing of what that looked like, but can you talk about that, son?
Yeah. So for me, it was all about pride. For me, I was excited to have children. I was like, everything that you didn't do, I'm going to do.
Mm,
So for me, and it's all about how it hits you, where it smacks you. If it smack you on the left, you might do something a little different. But for me, I was like, I seen my mom win. I also seen my mom lose, right?
okay.
And with seeing her lose, I'm like, this is not what I want to see my daughters go through or my young lady go through.
Mm,
So what can I do, right, to elevate who I am as a man to prevent those things from happening? Now, obviously, somebody had a broken heart because I said I got two kids, two mamas. All right, so I get that much. All right, we're gonna be transparent.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
I fall short every once in a while, but this is what I need. This is what I need you to understand uh, is every single day presents a new opportunity. You do not have to be great to start,
Hmm.
but you have to start in order to be great.
Yes, sir.
So every single day, I'm like, Shy, listen, if you missed it yesterday, guess what? The sun is shining. Keep on smiling. We can get this together, right?
Yeah, that's
And you
right.
continue to learn. And you've heard this before, but we learn so much from even our children. And I know you guys do. And I learn from my daughters all the
Absolutely.
time just by having, they said, two ears and one mouth. Y'all can tell I talk a lot, but I do listen. I listen a lot too, right?
Yeah.
So just having those two ears and one mouth and just paying attention to what's your surroundings and how everybody's reacting. I think for me, I was like the things that he did, even though I'm not gonna say he did things bad, it was just like I wanted to be better than he was for my mother. So I could see how she reacted. When she used to smile and she was really feeling good, that made me feel good.
Yeah. I got you.
Therefore, I was like, when I'm a father,
Mm,
guess what's going to happen? My daughters are going to be crazy in love with me. And they are. They're jumping. They probably buzzing me right now. I'll call you back, baby. All right?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
No, that's bro. I felt that. You gonna make me mess
Yeah.
around and have a girl, man? I told you I ain't trying to
Better
have
slow
a
down.
girl.
Then you're gonna have twins, a girl and a boy.
I don't look to I love how you put that because we very much do have to be the example for our kids. And for you, you're in a different position than both of us because we're men, we're boys.
Yep.
So it's like I need to lead in a way that they see how to treat a woman. They need to learn how to do these different things. For you, you like they need to fall in love with me, and I need to be the best person that I can be. Because if I'm just some old shaggy, raggy old person, bum ain't doing nothing, and they love you still, they gonna get somebody who's old shaggy, raggy, bum who ain't worth nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you ain't gonna have nobody else to blame but yourself.
Raise the bar.
Raise the bar. So as a man raising boys, how do you position yourself to make sure that they're in the right position when they get to your place?
So what in our house, I rule with an iron fist. But I'm there with a hug and a response and an excuse for everything we do in the house, any discipline necessary. Um, my wife is very good at telling me to shut up, sit down, and let's let them talk. Like let's hear them out. So thank God she's there because otherwise it would just be strict, strict, strict. And there's the gap, right? That's what my two oldest had to deal with
That's true.
versus now they get a break because stepmom's around to save them, right?
Yeah.
So, with boys, like I said, I rule an iron fist. Mom's there to like mom is there to coddle them, I guess is the word. But she's great at it too. She doesn't coddle them. You know, she knows, hey, if your dad's yelling and your dad's this upset, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, he's not just kicking the dog because he had a bad day at work. You know, I think them days are over. I just think that with my boys, as long as when they grow up and they are striving and achieving things, then like I am, and they see that, then
Yeah.
that's all I can ask, right? And that they're treating women with respect, and that's I tell you, their stepmother, their mother is in their ear all the time. You're gonna be polite young men.
Let's talk
Treat
about that
women
right now.
with yeah,
It's gonna be different for both of y'all, so I want to hear this.
right.
Let's talk about dating. I've heard different things from different people on when you should start dating. I know it was different in my house. I think I wasn't allowed to have no girlfriend at all the entire time. Did I still do it? Yes.
Right.
Because I thought I was grown, right? And I was getting a little bit of rebellion. You're at how old is your oldest? 13?
13, and
So you might already be having this conversation. I want to hear from both of y'all. When do you
We
start
did.
allowing your kids to date and why?
we found out through like another kid in the backyard opened his mouth when he shouldn't have.
A
And
friend of
I had the
his
window
snitching?
open. Yeah, a friend snitched on him indirectly, and then we said, all right, let's see your tablet, see who you're communicating
Can
with.
I ask what did you hear? Or is it too?
He had a girlfriend, but he was really sweet though. My wife found it. It's it's him talking to a girl, and he likes another girl, right? And it's like the girl's playing like middle woman, right?
I like that.
With the assist already,
He's
which
smart.
is friggin' scary at 13. And and the one girl's like, well, Joel, I don't know if you're mature enough to to hold her hand. And he's like, I think I am. I don't want to kiss her on the lips or anything. So it's like the sweetest
yeah,
conversation. It's not like I came across my kids as some smut, but
Mhm.
but yeah, it's a conversation. You got to step it back. You got to have the conversation. And my conversation was quick. Until you can afford to pick this young lady up in a vehicle, take her out to dinner, drop her off before her father requests,
Mhm.
then you can't date
Mm.
because that's a date.
That's a date.
That's it. Then that's my house,
So
my
you-
rules,
Yeah.
and that's where we're gonna keep it. And we're boys. God bless you because they're not gonna take it that.
Yeah,
And like you said, boys, they're
maybe.
just gonna date behind my back, and I'm
That's
okay
good.
with that. I
Okay.
want you to experience that. I want you
Okay.
to go.
You want him to experience.
Yeah, get in a car
the
with your buddies,
rebellion.
do some shit behind my back. You know what I mean? And learn that way, the natural
Yes.
way.
The natural. That's interesting.
And then, but if I had girls, my tune would be completely different. And I know that. I know that.
Shad, talk to
And
me,
I
bro.
proudly say that.
I want to hear. I
I'm
want to
an
hear
interesting human being.
Okay.
So I'll say for me, as of today, I would say, yeah, I'm okay if they're going to be dating because back in the day they used to call me Chocolate Star, right? They used to call me Chocolate Star, right? So I already knew all the tricks and the trades of
Come
the
on.
business. So
Okay.
when I see it, I call it out, right? But then I was at a dance and my youngest daughter, she was running around. It was very innocent. She running around with a little boy following around. I'm like, man, if this little boy don't go somewhere, I'm gonna drop kick him in the throat.
Right. Yeah.
And it really hit me because I haven't thought about it just yet because they're younger girls and they're so innocent. They're all daddy, daddy, daddy. I love you, I love you, I love you, and kissing me and stuff. And I'm like, you kissing me? You can't be kissing him too.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But that age is gonna come. I'll be open. I'll be open. Well, I'm
Are
saying
you
that.
expecting them to come? Are you expecting them to reach out and talk to
Reach
you
out?
first?
Oh no, they're gonna talk to each other first.
Okay, because you say you're gonna be open. I'm like,
No,
are you
no,
are you
no.
expecting
How
to
open, Dad?
find it
How
or?
Man, in my business, in my profession, being Rashad Howell, right?
Okay.
I understand how people react and their tendencies and how they move, and then I base my analysis off of the things that I'm seeing them going
Okay.
through. So I've already caught them in the act with
Okay.
certain things, and I allow them to go and discuss it with each other so they can give each other the wrong answers, and then I'll come back and give them the right answer.
Okay.
That way, because for me, it's very important with them having two separate mothers. I want them to grow up together, and I want them to be able to depend on each other,
Yeah.
right? Because, like I said, I'm not here. But what happens when I'm not here and you're getting older? It doesn't have to be daddy is here for you guys to still be sisters.
Mm.
So I'm
That's
allowing
good.
them to go ahead through this life journey with each other.
That's good.
Kind of mess
Yeah.
up a little bit
Yeah.
because I'm going to tell you the daddy was fried out and laid to the side.
Hey, come on now.
Right.
Right.
But I'm telling you, yeah, I don't think that Stone Cold Stun, I still got it. Bow, if I need to. So I think they'll be in good shape.
So can I interject again?
Yeah,
So,
man.
Um, remember 2 months ago, Tim Ross had a podcast episode where he was talking about how he was raising his boys. And my question for y'all is: are you both boys or girls? Are you gonna let them know early about some fast ass little girls out there and there's some fast ass little boys out there? And what levels are you gonna do that? Tim Rush just called it what it is.
Yeah.
He just said, hey, he told his son, that's a hoe.
Oh.
And so are we having these conversations that we're not tiptoeing around things because we're in what year 2024? I feel like our kids are growing up too fast. So, like, how are you guys combating that?
I'll dive right on into that one because at least I already know kind of what's in my
That was
head.
a scripted question. That was a really good one.
I already know what's in my head, and I don't even know if me and my wife are on the same page with this. But I know personally, growing up, I felt I knew too much about sex too early. I, and when I say I knew too much, at least I thought I knew what was going on. But nobody that actually knew about sex was the ones talking to me about it. No adults. I didn't get no birds and the bees. I was getting it from other fifth graders, other fourth graders. And then what happens next? You start getting a little bit curious, right? Like you talk about, like you start getting a little bit curious.
Yeah.
You want to go figure it out for yourself. And as a boy, that's exactly what I went and did.
Yeah. Then curiosity literally kills the cat after
And
that.
bro, and that's what was
Turn into
happening.
a dog.
I turned into a dog. And still to this day, I regret all of those moments. I wish that I knew more, and I think if I knew more, I would have done less, and I would probably have a little bit because honestly, we'll have this whole conversation at another time. But I feel like my early sexual activity plays a part and has influenced my marriage negatively. And we'll talk about that at a whole nother time because we're talking about us, we're talking about the kids.
I'm gonna clip that.
So I wish I could grab some of that time back. And in a way that I'm gonna do that is when I feel it like I'm ready and that my wife is ready, I'm gonna have these conversations with my kids. I'm gonna talk about exactly what sex is, and we're Christians, religious people. I don't expect everybody to speak on it in different, speak on it however you want to, but we're gonna be speaking to them in that, funneling and filtering that way, right? And then explaining to them, I'm like, yes, it is gonna be enticing. It is very attractive to have sex. And you're gonna have some of your friends, girls, or whatever, who may be trying to do that with you because that's something we all want to do. But we're gonna do it in this confine, and this is why you should do it. And I don't have all the language and the communication ways that I really want to say it, but I have in my mind the reason why I want to do it is because I've seen in my own life what it looked like when I didn't have that, if that makes sense. Y'all can.
That's spot on. I mean, that's exactly how I feel. I was exposed to sex at a very young age, and
Did you get birds and the bees?
No, I got the parents slept in and the VHS was left on too long.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
come
So
on.
it's just I had the original teen mom. You know what I mean? Like she was 16 when she had me. My father was 17. I remember my dad. By the time he was 25, had already had all five of us.
Mm.
So I remember on my 35th birthday, he called me, and I'm just, I'm established. I'm at the bar with a friend, having a good day. Took the day off. My dad calls and goes, "How you feeling?" "Good." "So I want you to put this into perspective. you know, when I was 35, you were 18. So imagine if your son, John or Joe, one of the twins would be 18 right now, you know,
Mm.
and I had to put that in perspective. Wow. So I, for a long time, resented my parents, more my father. Um, and then what you do is you grow up too and you mature and you realize, wow, what they were doing at 25 was not what I was doing at 25. You know, they were raising a whole family,
Yeah.
trying to make it work. Um, in a society, you know, I'm from South Jersey. So my dad was a commercial fisherman. He was never home. So now you got a mom, dad's out for 2 weeks at a time, raising 5 boys. I got my mom is my hero, you know, but it took me 40 years to realize my mom was my hero, you know.
Mm.
So that being said, I just think that if you are going to be very honest with your kids and have the birds and bees conversation, be prepared. Be prepared for that conversation because these kids got questions. They got math questions I don't know the answers to, right?
Yeah.
So if they got sexual questions, I'm gonna make sure I have the answers. And you would like to think that we, the sluts we were growing up, we would have all the answers, right?
Yeah.
But you don't, because these people are evolving. Like you said, fast women, these fast girls. That's true. And these boys are fast too. But I feel like we were the fast ones growing up, right?
We were the ones chasing.
Yeah, yeah,
But now you
yeah.
got
'Cause
like Sexy
girls were
Red
so
and
innocent
the
back then,
music's
right?
changing and stuff.
You saw a
too,
crop
so-
top and you were like, whore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
we didn't even have leggings until we got late in the high school. When I saw leggings and like baby fat, I was like, oh
man,
my
it's
lord,
crazy.
what is,
Now,
what
yeah,
has they? How would have it now?
yeah.
Some things are normalized and they take it to the next level. But keep going, man. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, no. And that's it. So that as society evolves, that conversation evolves. And what I think is cool about what we've been testifying to so far is you got your own way of being a father. You got your own way of being a father, and none of it's textbook, you know. And
Yeah.
like when people come to me, like, man, you got 5 kids, you got X amount of businesses, and you got this and that. How do you do it? What's the balancing? And I'm like, man, there's no playbook. Don't let anybody come in the room and tell you how to be a dad,
Mm.
because only you know that child. You and the mother know that child, right?
Yeah.
So it, directly, that's your sponge. Everything that comes out of you is going into that baby essentially. And if you're not if you're not constantly around and involved, and you're not that child's son, like if it's not feeding off your energy,
Yeah.
it's feeding off someone else's, and you got to be careful who that person is, you know.
If you let them kids leave the house hungry, they're gonna eat
They gon-
somewhere else.
Yeah.
You right about that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap dance on that one real quick
Please.
since y'all done got me stirred up. I like that. I'll say for me, I appreciate organic journey, right? Because I think some of the things that I went through molded me into the person that I am today. So I can't be selfish and say that girls, this is the way you should do it, because that might be exactly what they need to be who they're going to be.
That's true.
Success is where preparation and opportunity meet. So as long as I'm prepared when that opportunity comes and they bring that to me, I think we'll be successful in that conversation. Like I say, little, I'm a funny guy, so I say stuff like I call, the private parts. I call it their business. I like make sure you take care of your
So
business.
you use a lot of humor in your parenting.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you best believe it.
I
And
don't
then-
use none.
Oh,
So
no,
I'm
see,
gonna
different-
try it.
different
You know what I mean?
parenting
Yeah,
styles.
and I don't want to not try new things. I will try it. I promise you, I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. And I didn't mean to cut you off.
no,
but
no, that's good.
But what I have a business partner one time, and we went out to eat, and his child is literally screaming at him at the table, and the dad's just like, just to say, Joe,
Mhm.
listen, little Joey, I'm gonna need you to calm down, use your words, and look, parents that can pull that off,
Mm-hmm.
you must be hypnosis. Like
That
something
ain't easy.
but
It
this kid is just like full on fledged screaming right in his dad's face, like, and he's just nonchalantly like, "Well, calm down, son. Son, take it down." And I'm just like, and I got one of my children there, and my child just staring at me the whole time because
Yeah.
I guess he's waiting for me to hit the other kid or something. But I think that your strategy using humor has its method. It's a method to your madness, right? So everyone should have a method to their madness, but some people just have madness. And if you don't have a plan, if you haven't learned right? And you're, like you said, on the fly. If you're not taking notes, not saying get a notebook out, but learn from your damn mistakes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I got 5, so I've had a lot of mistakes. So that's why I think I'm clearly a better dad than on round 5 than I am on round 1. We all should be, right?
Mhm.
And I just think that if you have your own way of parenting, then you all could write a book. Every single one of us could write a book.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then ideally, everyone should read everyone's book and take a little bit from everybody, because that's how I go through life. I go through life learning. I'm gonna take something from today and carry on with that.
But that makes sense what you said. So you can only worry about the things you can control. You have to be your best authentic self. That's when it makes sense. So
Mhm.
my humor, even with my humor, they know when daddy puts this face on,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any questions. And they say, well, you know what, daddy, I hope he don't get me. Daddy ain't touched you a day in the life.
Yeah.
But you understand that because I'm so humorous all the time, it's like when I really get down and I'm like, this is what I need you to do. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, daddy's not playing. This is what I need to do. So it's all about um, the ingredients that you put in your cake.
So,
Yeah,
girl dads, you guys have the look, right? That's my understanding. You
we
just
have a
have the
look.
look that you give your daughters, and
A
they
look.
they
I wouldn't
understand.
say a look. It's it's also the voice.
Okay,
Mm.
okay,
Yeah, I
All
use the
right.
voice. Yeah,
All
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
it's always the voice because to small children, if you ever pay attention, so in the field that I work in, if I'm going out and I'm working with a small child in retail, what I'll do is I'll get on one knee so I
Yeah.
don't seem like this big person. Now you can be, I mean, you can really wreck some stuff by just how you say it in your presence, how
Yeah.
big you are. I mean, I know I got a couple of handles. I ain't talking about big like that. I'm talking about just me being a grown man and
Absolutely.
talking to a child.
And
It's
sometimes
just
we
like
forget that too.
authority.
Yeah, we forget that too.
It's authority. You just have to be like, and actually being respectful in the things that you say. They appreciate that and they listen and they take it in and then they reciprocate it. And then they'll probably do it when they get older. Train a child in the way they should go. My mama must be watching, and they won't stray away from you.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Oh man, that's good stuff. I'll keep going. That's
No,
all
no,
I
no,
had.
no. I was diving in because I'm learning. I'm constantly doing this. So for anybody's watching, you've been watching my podcast, you realize that I'm not trying to be one of those influencers or podcasters and feel like I always have the answers to everything. I feel like so many people will take a platform and just push information out as if they always have the answer. I built this platform so that we can find out the answers together. You might be missing one piece of the puzzle. I'm gonna bring somebody on here who can help you out with that. You might be missing one piece. I might be missing a piece. And I'm constantly, this is all a big book. I'm constantly trying to figure out where can I add this. And if it doesn't work, I take it out and try something else. I want to just be intentional. I know I can't be a perfect father, but I want to be an intentional father. And that's all I really care to be. So we're we're slowing this thing on down. One thing I want you guys to do, I want you, Rashad, first, man, look right at your camera. And I want you to speak to a father right now, either an expectant dad, a new dad, a senior dad, seasonal, seasoned. It doesn't matter. I want you to speak to a father out there right now.
Speak to a Is this the camera?
That's you right
Oh,
there,
this is
baby.
me, not that one. All right, cool. This camera right here. So if I'm speaking to a dad, what I would say is, you matter. All right, you matter. The things that you do matter. The things that you do make sense. Everything happens for a reason. So don't regret the trials and tribulations that you go through. It's all to help you grow. What you accept today is what you expect tomorrow. So be intentional about the things that you do today so you can build the tomorrow that you like with your babies.
Mm,
Is that enough?
there we go.
All right,
I
all right.
appreciate that. And John, I want you to look right at your camera. I want you to pick a father out there in the audience, and I want you to talk to that man right now.
Pick any father.
Any father.
I'm gonna speak to my brother right now, man, and hope that he hears us, and hope that he gets right and gets his life together and gets back in his son's life. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, without getting emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I felt that.
So I'm talking to you. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you heard everybody's heart here on this podcast. This is not over. For some of y'all like it's just getting good. If you're in the Hampton Roads area, you still got time. We'll be here till 8 p.m. if you're watching this live. Come down to Maker's Craft Brewery in Norfolk, Virginia, and have a conversation with a few fathers, a few men who are not afraid to be vulnerable and transparent so we can figure out how we can help each other grow. Here for the dads, out.
Cheers.
Now, I know I said bye.